Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dada Princess, and today, from the title already, you know what's going to be like when we're talking about. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be giving you more queer content from Nigeria. So stay tuned. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. From the topic, you already know we're going to be talking about why and how you should come out if you want to come out in Nigeria. You know, if you want to come out in Nigeria as a queer person, these are things that you should do. So I made a list. I made a pros and cons list. But as you know, honestly, there are not a lot of pros on this list. If I'm going to be sincere with you, right off the bat, there are not a lot of pros on this list, right? But there are a lot of cons. And permit me to indulge you, right? So I made a list and we're going to talk about the cons first, then the pros, and then I'm going to tell you a little trick, or will I say trick? I think these are a few tips I will give to you if you want to come out in Nigeria as a queer person, right? So for the cons, first of all, we're going to be talking about conversion therapy. It's a real thing here in Nigeria, and if you want to come out in Nigeria, you have to be ready to face the fact that they think they can change you. They think God can change you. I mean, what God cannot do does not exist. Oh my God. I'm not a religious person, by the way, but this is like a thing in Nigeria that happens, that people post on their WhatsApp status and stuff on social media, like what God cannot do does not exist, and they really do believe that. So best believe that they will take you to the nearest available church to do some deliverance, right? They want to deliver you. They'll take you to church camps. You'll probably end up doing fasting and prayer, 21 days fasting and prayer, 3 days fasting and prayer. I mean, no food, no water. You're only going to seek the face of God and let Him cast out the demon in you that's making you a lesbian or making you a homosexual, right? So a lot of people go through this, and it's sad. It's quite sad, but it's the reality of a lot of queer people in Nigeria. The parents' first response is to take them to church and let the pastor pray for them so that they stop being gay, or whatever they think is going to happen, right? And it does not make this person straight, mind you. It doesn't work. It definitely does not work, and people still end up having to go through that torture, right? Saying they are being exorcised, and some people are even molested by these said prophets and pastors, all in the name of changing them to straight and all of that. So it happens. It's a real thing. The next we're going to talk about is physical abuse. Already, to start with, Africans, Nigerian parents are already very physically abusive towards their children, and that's like a topic for another day. So it's not very difficult for them to lay hands on you in a not so loving way. So it's very probable that if you're outed, or if you come out, the chances of you being abused physically by your family is at an all-time high, because even without you coming out, they already abuse you physically. Talk more of when you come out, and it's something that they do not subscribe to, right? So of course they could probably get physically abusive with you. I think last year or 2 years ago, there was a video trending online where a stud, her family, her brother, her father, they were mercilessly digging into her, beating the shit out of her, because they saw some videos of her on social media with her girlfriend, and it wasn't funny at all. It was so heartbreaking. It was so sad, and a lot of times as queer people, we don't even know what to do in such situations. It's your family, what do you do? And people are supporting them. They have support of the people, right? So the next thing you have to also consider as a con is that when you want to come out, right, are you done with your university? Are you done with your education? Are you financially stable? Because this is something I really have been debating a lot about. I get that you might want to come out, or you feel the need to come out, right? which is important. But when we are talking about, sorry, excuse the noise, but when we're talking about financial stability and if you're done with your education, these are very important things to consider, because as an average Nigerian, your parents actually train you in the university. My parents did the training in university, right? So, and there was no way I could have fucking paid for university myself. I mean, there are ways, but I mean, it would have been so stressful, right? And that's like hard life. And usually, if you're from like an average home, your parents pay your school fees. That's how it works here. Like, you go to a government university and they pay your school fees. I went to a government university and they pay your school fees for you. So, if you know that you cannot pay your school fees yourself, if you're going to come out, be ready to find means or be ready to drop out of school. I've seen a lot of queer men on social media that have come out and they're like, oh, you know what, I came out and my parents said they financially cut me off until I get my act together or get my shit together. And because being queer is not something that you can get together, that leaves you in a dilemma, because right now you cannot afford to pay for school or like pay for like stuff, right? And then you're just there. So most times these guys have to drop out of school and try to get like any other kind of job this year round so that they can make ends meet. So I don't think it's wise to come out when you're still under your parents, especially as a woman. I don't think it's wise to come out, especially when you're still depending on your parents for money, for food, for subsistence, for survival. I do not think it's necessary, right? I feel like if you've waited your whole life, you can wait a couple of years more. You can wait 2-3 years more to come out so that you're not stranded in life. Another thing you should understand is that if you're coming out, you should be ready to be homeless. Like, for real, be ready. That should even be the number one thing, safe. Because on a normal day, Nigerian parents threaten you with homelessness. Like, you're being threatened. Like, I'm putting a roof over your head. So you should listen to what I say. And when you do not listen to what they say, of course, there's threats of go to somebody else's house. You can't do that on my house. Go somewhere else. So obviously, when this happens, you should be ready to be homeless. It's just a lot of people that have come out have been homeless. That's why they even have like safe houses and stuff right now. I do not know like a lot of places where the safe houses are. But I've heard about safe houses here in Nigeria. So like, you should be ready to be homeless once you come out. Just be ready. Like, find a friend, because half the time your parents will kick you out. Also, there are very twisted people that believe in corrective rape. And when I say corrective rape, I do not mean like sometimes you come out to friends and you might not come out to, even if you come out to family, sometimes you might have people that you think are friends and they are not really friends, and once they find out your sexuality, things can go very, very wrong. Some women can get raped. They'll be like, oh, you've never slept with a guy before, and so therefore that's why you're queer. So they want to rape these women. They go ahead to rape these women in a bid to make her change her sexuality, which is so dumb, because I don't know who you would rape, who would definitely now fall in love with dick after all that trauma. Makes no freaking sense to anybody. So yeah, that's just an excuse to rape women. But yeah, moving on, there's corrective rape. It happens quite a lot, even in those so-called prophets that deliver women from lesbianism and stuff. There's that they rape them sometimes, in a bid to cure them of their illness, of the said illness. Also, let's not forget the very important things. We have the Nigerian law that it's against queer people. So you have a 14-year ban if you are being caught in the act. So if you're being caught being with somebody of the same sex, you're definitely getting locked up if you're being reported. If somebody reports you like, I caught this person, I have evidence, the chances of you going to jail are very, very high, right? chances of you going to prison are high. So if you're caught being with a woman or a man or whatever, whoever, right, chances of you going to jail are very high, as long as you're a queer person, right? And with Sharia law for the Muslims in this country, the problem is with the Sharia law is that they demand death. So like it's a real serious issue, like real life death. Like, so you have to be extremely careful because life is precious, right? And I don't think anything is worth your life. So some people might feel otherwise, but personally I don't feel like anything is worth your life. You might as well live in the closet till you can break free and go somewhere else and live your life peacefully without having been bound by Sharia law, because Sharia law says you should be stoned to death, and these niggas do not play. They will fucking end your life for real, because it happens a lot. Like, we've seen it severally. It's not, in fact, forget Sharia law, like down here in the southern part of Nigeria, you see where people are murdered, like carried around. Once they were caught, like the watchmen in the community or vigilantes in the community will carry them around, parading them everywhere, beating them, killing them, burning them with tires and stuff. So like it's for real. It's fucking real life. So people really die. So you have to be careful. You have to be cautious. Extremely cautious and careful. Yeah, so that would do it for the cons, right? And then for the pros, yeah, for the pros, I just have one pro for you. I feel like the only pro is living your best life and living your life as your true authentic self. I think a lot of people, it matters a lot, because when you're living a lie, it's really not easy, right? Speaking from somebody that has been there, it's really not easy living a lie, feeling like you have to pretend all the time. I don't know, it makes you feel so anxious, makes you not yourself, and it's very depressive, right? So living your best life, your authentic life, and finding a community. And I feel like you can find a community whether you're in the closet or not, right? This finding a community doesn't mean you have to be out to find a community. You can find a community whether you're in the closet or not. But a lot of people value living their truth, and of course it's a valid feeling, and if you feel it's that important to you, then you should go ahead and do it, right? But do not forget the cons I've mentioned. I'm going to give you a little tip for coming out, especially to religious families. I'm from a very religious family, right? Like very pastoral kind of family. So my sisters, my siblings, when we were growing up, we were all taught that this was, sinful and all those kind of stuff. But eventually, like now they're okay with me, but I had to talk to them. I had to let them know that queer people, we are not demons, we're not monsters, we're like regular human beings. And like, you've been queer all your life, I've been queer all my life, and you never saw me as a monster. So why is this piece of information going to make me change now? It has nothing to do with whatever. Do you get? So I think talking to them, making them see that queer people are just as humans as they are. I think bringing up queer conversations, right? Making them see that these people that go out of their way to kill queer people, to abuse queer people, to do all these wicked and evil things to queer people actually have to be demented. Make them see that, because it's not normal, right? It's not normal in any sense. In any way, it's not normal that you want to go out of your way to actually hurt somebody else because they do not subscribe to the same train of thought as you, or to the same kind of lifestyle as you do. It's absolutely sickening. So that's the only tip I have for you. I mean, the rest is left to the universe and to however your family is and all of that. So with that, that's the conclusion to this video. I hope I didn't scare you. I hope I did not scare you. So yeah, thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm going to be releasing more queer content for you, especially in Nigeria, from my personal experiences too. Peace.